When we think about PlayStation, there's probably a couple things that come to mind. Buttons represented by shapes, consoles with unoriginal naming schemes, and franchises that have been long abandoned in the sands of the past. Well, be prepared for a lot of reminders of that last one, because Astro Bot is definitely a game that's going to charm you with its polished gameplay, superb music, excellent design. It is also not going to shy away from the origin of PlayStation and drop constant Easter eggs that remind you of series that we will never see a return to. I know many of you are probably wondering why I didn't cover it back when it won Game of the Year back in December, and the answer is, it took that long for my copy to arrive. It's no mystery that there was some controversy over Astro Bot winning the Game Awards over Wukong, and I myself am an avid fan of Wukong, so I wanted to give time for the dust to settle before I jumped in this video. I wanted to be able to say that I gave Astro Bot a fair shake. In a move of good faith though, I went out and purchased a copy of Astro Bot, and I can preface this video now with the following. I do not regret that decision. Astro Bot won me over with its incredible charm and amazing gameplay. While it may have been a game that was likely just pumped out to solely advertise a new PlayStation mascot, Astro Bot goes well beyond that. It's actually quite impressive how a project like this, which was likely not intended to go this hard, manages to do so. Every now and then you got a dev team that decides to take a simple project and say, let's give this our absolute best effort, and you end up with something far better than the original intention, and Astro Bot is what you get when that happens. So let it be known that I'm not a hater, and I give things a fair shake. I can't say for sure if I think it's better than Wukong, but if Wukong had to lose to any game, this one is definitely one worthy of doing so. If you're considering crucifying me for saying that, like I point out in my other videos, I ask you to please withhold your pitchforks until the end of this video and see if you don't agree. Astro Bot was spawned actually back in the day and was used sort of a makeshift PlayStation mascot for years now, but this is his first actual original game that goes beyond a tech demo to demonstrate what new PlayStation consoles can do, and I have to say, it delivers. Developed by Team Asobi, the game took home Game of the Year at the Game Awards last year, and took the entire community by surprise. And for those who still haven't bought a PS5 and live as literal cavemen, I'm sure you're scratching your head and wondering why. Why did a platformer made just as a mascot pusher win Game of the Year over literally Final Fantasy VII? Well, you may want to watch to the end of this video to understand why. At first glance, you may be thinking Astro Bot is just some kind of kiddie platformer, what's the big deal? Oh, how wrong you are, my friend. While the game is appropriate for all ages, there really is something in here for everyone, and Astro Bot shows us that Sony remembers how to make a good platformer, they just haven't done it in a really long time. Get ready, because a lot of this video is going to be overwhelming praise, because as I said earlier, Astro Bot really won me over. Prior to playing Astro Bot, I was actually a demonic halfling that sucked the souls of the living right out of their body. Playing this game showed me what joy was. It showed me that mankind was worth saving. It showed me that the industry is not actually a big dumpster fire completely all the time. Normally I would make a joke about pausing the video, go play the game before I ramble on, but in this case, I don't think it matters. You're going to play it regardless if you do it before this video or after. If you play Astro Bot and don't have fun, I can only imagine it's because you're the kind of person who hates puppies and kittens. Hot damn, this game absolutely nails design, and I mean nails it. Every single world in this game is vibrant, diverse, unique, and full of exciting things to see. There's just so much to look at this game, and it will make you smile. So many times over and over I had to call my wife in there and go, hey babe, look at this. My wife doesn't even play PlayStation, she was able to appreciate this game's design choices. You don't ever feel like any two levels are the same, and the design choices extend into the gameplay too. Every level brings in new ways to enjoy the game, to where there is never a time where you feel at all like you're just jumping and platforming. It feels like a genuine adventure. Cute animal robots existing in the world around you add so much detail. The same applies to your fellow bots that you're tasked with rescuing. You can probably dump hours in just checking out every little idle animation that every bot has. One of my favorite features was that you could change your player character to wear costumes from different Sony franchises, which made you switch to Cat from Gravity Rush and never look back. Everything about the design of this game oozes PlayStation history, and it's absolutely amazing. Yes, you are reminded of franchises long forgotten, sure, but you really feel like the entire game is an homage and celebration of gaming as a whole. Easter eggs is the name of the game, and the game is full of them. There's so much to discover and appreciate, and I'm not mad about it. Every level just lets you take it all in and really appreciate the level of detail put into it. Team Asobi really went above and beyond here. Graphically, for a platformer, it's quite astounding. You got 60 FPS, ray tracing, everything. It just looks like an absolutely gorgeous game, with love and care put into its design. You would be hard-pressed to hate what you're seeing. With levels inspired by PlayStation franchises, levels with different themes, and even levels designed to be reminiscent of old-school retro gaming, it's like a perfectly crafted art piece that comes together to make gamers of all types enjoy what they're seeing. I have to give mad props to Team Asobi, they really killed it here. I don't think there was a single level that I felt was a stinker design-wise. Another thing worth pointing out is this game doesn't shove tutorials in your face, and instead it's designed in such a way that you can mostly tell what you're supposed to do. If you find yourself stuck in front of something that you don't know what to do with, it'll display a simple image on screen reminding you of a mechanic you might have forgotten about. The game only goes out of its way to do this if you're stuck, and it's a godsend. Art direction clearly wasn't something they cheaped out on either, and the final product shows that. I would even say the level design is so memorable that it's been a long time since I felt this much impression left on me from a platformer. It's good. Very good. On a scale of goodness, I would put it well above your mom. Here's the meat of it all. Astro Bot's mechanics are the area where it shines the most. It has fine polished the mechanics and tuned them to damn near flawless. It's like a fine wine that's been aged to perfection, or a delicious marinated meal made by my wife. It is the absolute peak in terms of quality. On a surface level, you may be thinking, hey, it's a platformer, how great can it really be? Yes, your only moves are jump, double jump, and punch most of the time, but it shows you how ironing out the basics can really matter. Sometimes you needn't reinvent the wheel if the wheel is already flawless, and Astro Bot is a perfect example of that. While it focuses on its basic mechanics being light, they are actually quite innovative. Your double jump isn't a conventional double jump, it's a form of attack actually. A series of lasers exit your character's legs and pushes them further in the sky and slows down their falling slightly. Doing this over the top of an enemy's head actually damages them, and it's used very cleverly throughout the game. It also affects platforms that are made of weak material. Levels really require you to explore your moveset, and I have to say, control-wise, it feels really good. I've never felt something this tight in a long time. Probably even better than most Mario games. And that's a bold statement since most would argue that Mario set the standard for how 3D platformers should feel, and I'm a huge fan of Mario 64. And it pains me to think that a game does platforming better, but the proof is right in front of me. Astro Bot just nails it. The controls just feel good. Levels in the base experience needed to progress are fairly straightforward but varied. They never feel too easy, but never too frustrating. The difficulty is usually just right. However, for the Dark Souls fans, there are challenge levels that you'll need to complete for 100% of the game, and to get that coveted Platinum trophy, which I went through the effort of getting, so go me. The challenge levels are true tests of skill, and they may take you a few tries to master. Fortunately, they're designed in such a way that they're not too frustrating, and you never really feel like giving up, though some might feel a little cheap at times. The great thing here are the power-ups. They vastly change the way you approach a level, and each gives you a new ability to utilize and master. They add a lot more depth to some of these levels and vary up the gameplay. They truly shine during boss fights, which are an absolute treat to enjoy. Each boss in the game I feel has fair amounts of challenge and makes you master the power-up items to defeat them. They're humorous and engaging fights. The game is a collectathon technically, but not so much as the likes of Banjo-Kazooie. The only thing you're really collecting is puzzle pieces and bots, but it's designed in such a way that you don't find this to be a tedious chore. Levels never really overstay their welcome, and they're just the right length to play a little and put it down and come back to later. Not that you'll want to put it down because you'll actually be playing for hours on end like me. Gameplay is Astro Bot's strongest element, as I said before, and it's the strongest thing this game has by a long shot. It's probably the most important aspect of a game anyway. You're getting a pretty beefy game here too, because there's quite a few levels and it'll take you hours to see everything the game has to see, and that's assuming you weren't stopping to look at every cute little detail the game has. If you have felt Mario has grown stale, you'll have to check out Astro Bot. I think the only criticism is I think some of the enemies are a bit overused, I suppose, and lack any real threat, but that's a minor complaint. The majority of the enemies in the game are well used, and they feel like a legitimate challenge to make up for the random throwaways that pose no threat at all. I mean, sure, I can't deny that some of the challenge levels gave me some trouble, but I would say they are far from the most frustrating thing I've ever played, considering I played Double Dragon 3 on this channel. There's really no bad level. Okay, when I was writing the script, I had not experienced the Great Master Challenge, and I have to say straight up, this level. This is the worst level in the entire game by far, and I can say that with confidence as I got every single trophy and bot in this game. I did literally everything there is to do in Astro Bot. Great Master Challenge is basically your final endgame challenge and a culmination of your efforts in previous challenge levels, and it absolutely sucks. You will die 100,000 times attempting this level. This level will make you wonder how a game rated E10 could be this hard. Maybe I'm just bad at games, and feel free to mock me in the comments for being so, but I couldn't stand the Great Master Challenge. Attempting it will look a lot like this. It is so insanely frustrating, with no checkpoints, meaning you'll have to pull it off in one flawless run. But when you do, oh man, do you feel amazing. You're on top of the world for all of 4 seconds until you realize the final bot is Master Onion. It's almost like a cruel joke, and I'm praying you all don't seriously make me play that game. All in all, outside of this level though, there really aren't any stinkers. The other challenge levels, like I said, feel a bit tricky at times, but nothing too outrageous. You're getting a good game. Platforms are sort of notorious for their story being there for more or less just justifying a game, and Astro Bot isn't much of an exception here. Some weird space bully banged your spaceship and stranded your little bots all across several galaxies, and up to you to rescue them and store your ship. It's about as bare bones as a story can get, and there isn't any actual dialogue. Instead, everything is portrayed through action sequences and your bot making little hand gestures. I wouldn't even really call this a criticism though, as it's one of those games that doesn't really need much of a story. You're here for the adventure after all. To complain that Astro Bot lacks a story would be complaining that Mario needs a deeper story. Besides, adding more story to platformers is partially what began ruining the Sonic franchise, and I doubt anyone would want more of that. I actually find it refreshing from time to time when a game doesn't rely on long drawn out cutscenes about crap no one cares about, conveying what's happening. Instead, the focus is heavily on the gameplay, and the storytelling isn't really that important. Overall, it's a serviceable story, even if it doesn't matter that much. Hot damn, this game absolutely brings it hard when it comes to its music and sound design. I legitimately did not expect to hear tunes that had become so memorable and catchy, but I was pleasantly surprised. Astro Bot brings the bangers and then some. Right from the first level, you'll be hearing some amazing tunes pumping through your speakers, and that will have you whistling them for days to come. Instant classics, that's for sure. I actually can't even remember the last Mario game that had tunes this iconic. It's a true testament to how great they are. The music was done by Kenneth MC Young, and he brings the absolute beats. This man should be praised for what he brings to the table. Just listen to this stuff.
I hate this Windows Vista tonight. Blue screens.
Astro Bot, I would say, honestly scores as high in the music department as it does in the gameplay department. And that is, it scores damn near perfect. And they put the music for this game on several music stores and streaming platforms, so you have no reason not to be playing it on repeat after you finish watching this video. If by some chance Mr. Young is watching this video, thank you, good sir, you have delivered a gift to us all. The base game levels will definitely give you plenty to do, but there's still tons of great content after you finish up. You can spend some time finding all the bots in the game, collecting puzzle pieces, enjoying the additional speedrun levels, taking the Great Master Challenge. I would say outside of just completing the game, you've got several hours of content, and the game is so fun you may just want to play it again just to say you did. The best part is it never overstays its welcome, and with 2 free updates they added at the time of making this video, maybe we'll see more content in the future. I actually had genuine fun with the speedrun levels and never really felt cheap or overly challenging for no reason. They're pretty balanced like most of the game. I think it's the best way to describe Astro Bot as a whole. It's balanced. It's very, very balanced. Length-wise, you're looking at about 20 to 25 hours, which for me personally is just the right length for a game. The difficulty outside of a level that I will stop myself from mentioning yet again feels just about right. I will gladly accept an Astro Bot 2, that's for damn sure. When it comes to great games, Astro Bot is definitely one of them. It's one of the most entertaining titles on the PS5 that there is. If you don't own a PS5, I feel bad for you because you really should try this one out. I can see why it's such a contender for Game of the Year. Not all bots are of the Astro variety, but this one is the highest quality variety. Thank you all so much for watching. I would love to hear all of your thoughts on Astro Bot in the comments below, and tell me how you felt about the Great Master Challenge. Please be sure to like the video, but not too much so I don't have to play Parappa, and share it with your friends if you think they'd like it too. Subscribe to see more videos like this one, and check out my other content on my channel. This is WizPlay, and that's enough of that.